Okay, yeah, actually the issue we are having here is we haven't defined, say the task ID is missing. So the problem is when we render here, so because this endpoint always have the task ID. So here when we render HTML, we render this template, but we haven't passed the ID. We have to pass the ID also, because this is expecting actually the task ID. So here what I do is task ID equals to task ID. So I just pass the task ID as a variable task ID here when we render the template. Okay, and here edit. Yeah, here also in the edit template we also need to pass the task ID when we do the post. You can say task underscore ID equals to task underscore ID. So the ID we pass here, here, this one we actually set it here in the URL. So the error was generated from here. Now let's see. Yeah, we have this one. Okay, so go back. Okay, we see, let's say, yeah, this one, this task we are going to edit. We just edit it, and let's say we name it task 20. Just change the submit. See, the task covered successfully, and then the task 1 is changed to task 20. So now we know that our edit functionality is working. Now the thing left is the delete. So for delete, I am going to create another template, which we call delete. Delete.html. Okay, let's just copy the edit part and then paste it here, and this one we will call it delete. But the thing is, we are going to use a different form here. If you notice, in this application, when we click edit, we have this form, right, and the button. But if we go to the delete, delete, actually this is also a form, actually displaying some text and then the button. So this is a different form. So for this one we have to create another form. We cannot reuse the add form. So we will create another WTF form for our delete. So first we just wait, because here it will not have much changes. We just change this one, and then first we create the form, WTF form, then we will come here to modify this HTML. So in our forms, we can just copy this first, and then delete task form. Same, we extend it, and here we don't need a text button, text box. This one is a string field, so I just remove it. We just need a button, which is, we call it delete. Save it. That's all. Now we can go to our route. Same, maybe I will just shorten it, and then I will copy this, and because we are going to create a delete route, so this one is delete, and then here we also change it to delete. And for delete, actually we also need to pass the ID, because we need to pass the ID what we are going to delete, right? So that's why I copy the edit one instead of the add route. So similarly, we pass the ID. We have the ID here, then we get it from the database, and then we create a delete form. But this time we create a delete form, but I haven't imported, so I have to import it first, like this. So now we have the delete form here. Okay, then here we this is fine. If we don't find anything, we just display this one. But here we say, if the delete form is submitted, it means the user clicked here means the user clicked. When the user clicked to confirm, and then it's submitted, then what we will do is we just delete, simply delete. So I can just remove this one. We can say, because we already tried the task here, so the task is already in the session. We can say session dot delete. First we delete the task from the session, and then we commit the changes. So once we commit, then the delete query will trigger and then delete this record from the database. Now we will say task deleted successfully, and then redirect it here, and else we just display the form. Actually, yeah, we don't need to set the title because we don't have the title. So this line is not needed. We just return the delete HTML, and then the form is actually the delete form, and the title, the task ID, and now I will also send the title. Title is actually the task dot title. I don't need to send the whole task, I just send the title and then display it there. I will show it later. So in the lead we actually send three things: the form itself, the ID, task ID, and then the title. So in the delete, here instead of form dot this, we can just do the, because we have the title here, so I will remove this, and then I will say, are you sure to delete task? And here we will print the title, and then the question mark. Okay, and then if the user really want to delete, they can click and then it will be deleted. So everything looks fine. Let's just test it. This is not our application. This is the one we are doing. Refresh. Okay, let's say we want to delete this. Click here, delete. Actually we haven't set the route, the URL here, and the index. Okay, in the index here, similarly to the edit, copy this, paste here, and then we will do it delete. Okay, now let's refresh again. Okay, the same problem. Task ID I have provided, but I think here I haven't. Task ID I have provided already.